Maya Eglin is there for us right now in Chicago. I also want to bring in Sharon Wilkins Conrad, professor of history at Tarrant County College and senior fellow at Southern Methodist University's Center for Presidential History. Her book, The Trinity, John F. Kennedy, Lyndon Johnson, and Civil Rights in African American Memory, comes out this May. Sharon, you have three former presidents all in that room, Biden, Obama, Clinton, to celebrate the Reverend Jackson. What do you think it says about him and his impact on history that they're all there and all speaking today?
Yes, I think that their presence at this service is a reflection of just how important Reverend Jackson was and is to the civil rights movement and to the Democratic Party and what the Democratic Party has stood for, and especially kind of the connection that African Americans have always had and felt towards the office of the presidency. One of the things that I am talking about in the Trinity is just this connection that stretches back all the way to Abraham Lincoln. African Americans have always felt this sense of hope in the person of the presidency. Even if things weren't going well at home, they could look to the White House and feel like they have an ally. And so that is going to continue through the presidency and administration of Franklin Delano Roosevelt, through John Kennedy, and ultimately through Clinton, Obama, and even President Biden. But when Jesse Jackson is running for president in 1984 and 1988, it's reflective of his understanding of the role of the presidency and that the role of that institution as a place of hope for the African American community.
Right now, at the lectern, we see Yusef Jackson, who is Jesse Jackson's son. Let's listen for a moment.
Thought for a moment and told me, Dad, Granddad told me he loved me. And those are the last words I remember him ever saying to me as well. Wherever he traveled, he made time for children, at schools, at churches, at hospitals. Even in prisons, he believed that inside every child was a somebody waiting to emerge, and that with faith and support and hope, they can achieve excellence. He would say, I know because I was one of them. And today his legacy will not be carried forward by family alone. This type of work does not pass by blood, it passes by spirit. Thus it is in his name that we have committed ourselves that the Rainbow Coalition will continue. We have recommitted ourselves to its founding principles, reached out to engage new leaders across the country and restructured and revived its operations. And we'll put the good Reverend, my father, to rest today, and we'll honor him by building upon his work and taking up the challenge. And so while he would be delighted to witness this gathering of friends and allies, and sorry to not be here to conduct it personally, he would be intent that we stay the course and carry on the struggle for justice. I thank you all for being a part, not just of his work over the years, but to the shared commitment of our future together. Keep hope alive.
Sharon, one of Jesse Jackson's most memorable speeches was at the 1988 Democratic National Convention, and to remind people, I want to play a little bit of that.
Call you outcast, low down, you can't make it, you're nothing, you're from nobody, subclass, underclass. When you see Jesse Jackson, when my name goes in nomination, your name goes in nomination. I was born in the slum, but the slum was not born in me. And it wasn't born in you, and you can make it. Keep hope alive. Keep hope alive. Keep hope alive.
That was almost 40 years ago, but wow, doesn't that still feel incredibly powerful and relevant?
It really does. And, just in thinking about coming to speak with you today, I was thinking about the word hope and his use of the word hope in that incredible speech, and thinking about how the sense of hope. He's running for the presidency in 1988. He's unsuccessful, but in that speech, he draws upon hope. And it reminds me of even when the president that I studied, John Kennedy, passed away here in Dallas, where I am. When he was killed here, there's a Fort Worth journalist, Bob Ray Sanders, who reflected on that. And he said that John Kennedy was our hope, and that when he died, hope died. The fact that Reverend Jackson is bringing up hope is part of this incredible lineage of folks looking to the presidency in that role and what it promises, such that when Barack Obama is running his own campaign, he talks about the audacity of hope. And I think that that's such an important factor, and why we are remembering Reverend Jackson today is just that he is kind of this intermediary, this connective person connecting us to Dr. King's dream and hope, and also even to Barack Obama in his run successfully for the presidency in 2008.
Yeah, and another president who is there today, Bill Clinton, who said famously, "I believe in a place called hope." Maya, Reverend Jackson opened so many doors for so many people, including a lot of them that are in that room today. So I wonder what your conversation with folks have been like.
Yeah, Chris, it's been surrounded with a lot of appreciation. Yes, there's grief, but let me take a look at this crowd right now. We have Governor J.B. Pritzker on stage honoring the life and legacy of Reverend Jackson. As was just mentioned, his connection with Dr. Martin Luther King went back to Selma, and they did a lot of organizing right here in Chicago. When Dr. King was assassinated, Jesse Jackson was with him. He was just 26 years old, so he's really been this continuation of the legacy of fighting injustice and moving toward a world of equality. That, again, was emphasized with his historic presidential run, but also his work with the Rainbow Push Coalition, which his son is taking over today. So, yes, there is grief. Yes, there is sadness, but there is so much optimism for what the future of hope represents. Chris.
Let me ask you finally, Sharon, as we continue to hear the governor speaking. I'm struck by the fact that the Reverend Jackson had been sick in recent years. We didn't see a lot of him. We certainly didn't hear much from him. And yet last weekend at the Rainbow Push headquarters around Chicago, people honored him. Thousands of people coming out today, many of them waiting hours in line. It's a cold day in Chicago, as it often is in March, wanting to pay their respects. Just what is even the fact that so many people felt compelled to be there today, to be there this week, say about the impact he had?
I think it says a lot about what he was able to set in motion with his two presidential campaigns. His Rainbow Coalition, this incredible coalition of people of all colors, all backgrounds, all races, all classes, including poor whites and progressive whites. Everyone was welcome into the coalition that he set in motion in 1984 and grew in 1988, such that I think what that outpouring represents is kind of what a bit of a prescription for his party today and what is needed in that kind of unity that he called for when he talked about keeping hope alive. Every single one of those coalition members would be required in order to do the work that Reverend Jackson discussed throughout his life. And so I think that that call is what brought people to the coalition offices last week. They're remembering what he was trying to ask them to do and reflecting on the importance of doing that work.